Emily stood outside the small cafe, nervously adjusting the blanket wrapped around the sleeping little girl in her arms. She glanced at her phone and sighed. She was already 15 minutes late for her blind date. After almost canceling 3 times, she had finally decided to come, even though life as a single mother rarely went according to plan. As she stepped inside, several people looked at her with curiosity. A young man sitting by the window stood when he noticed her looking around. He smiled warmly. "You must be Emily. I'm so sorry I'm late," she said, slightly out of breath. "My babysitter canceled at the last minute, and I couldn't leave my daughter alone." Instead of looking disappointed, he pulled out a chair for her. "Then I'm glad you brought her." His name was Daniel. Unlike the stories Emily had heard from friends, he didn't seem bothered by the child sleeping peacefully against her shoulder. He even lowered his voice so he wouldn't wake her. At first, the conversation felt awkward. Emily expected him to leave after a few polite minutes. Most men did once they realized dating her meant accepting a child too. Instead, Daniel asked about her favorite books, her work as a nurse, and the little girl's name. "Sophie," Emily answered with a proud smile. "She's 4. Daniel looked at the sleeping child with gentle eyes. "She looks safe." Emily blinked in surprise. No one had ever described her daughter that way. Halfway through dinner, Sophie slowly opened her eyes. "Mommy, where are we?" Emily apologized again, embarrassed, but Daniel laughed softly. "I think our youngest guest deserves dessert." A few minutes later, the waitress placed a slice of chocolate cake on the table. Sophie's face lit up, making everyone smile. For the next hour, the blind date became something completely unexpected. Instead of pretending Sophie wasn't there, Daniel included her in every conversation. He folded paper napkins into tiny birds, made silly faces, and somehow convinced her to laugh louder than anyone else in the cafe. Watching them together, Emily felt something she hadn't allowed herself to feel in years: hope. As they prepared to leave, rain began pouring outside. "I'll walk you home," Daniel offered. "You don't have to." "I know." They walked beneath a single umbrella while Sophie slept once again in Daniel's arms. He carried her carefully as if she were the most precious thing in the world. When they reached Emily's apartment building, she reached out to take Sophie back. "You've been incredibly kind," she said. "But I should tell you something." Daniel nodded. "I was terrified you'd see my daughter as a burden." He looked at Sophie before meeting Emily's eyes. "I saw the most important part of your life. That's not a burden. That's a privilege." Emily felt tears forming. Months later, what had begun as an imperfect blind date became the beginning of a beautiful family story. Daniel never tried to replace Sophie's father. Instead, he became the steady presence who attended school plays, fixed broken toys, and celebrated every little achievement. Years afterward, during another quiet evening, Sophie wrapped her arms around Daniel and whispered, "I'm really glad Mom was late that day." Daniel smiled. "So am I. Sometimes the best moments in life begin exactly when nothing goes according to plan." If you'd like, I can also write a YouTube description and hashtags for this story.